James Carter TV here to recap the Sunday night football game between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. The battles of what was an NFC South team that was 0-3 coming into this game. Drew Brees was out last week. They needed to win this game. They were at home. They've lost their spunk and their umph at home. They needed to win this game, and they did. And ultimately, I mean, this is something I predicted. I predicted the Saints to win this game. But give some testament to the Dallas Cowboys. A very limited amount, but some testament, because they at least were competitive. Under this Brandon Weeden regime, they're being competitive, which is something that you need to do. But ultimately, you need to win games. If you want to remain first place in the NFC East, and they are right now, but they're tied for first place in the NFC East. If you want to remain in that position, you got to start winning games. And the New York Giants, I don't know who they're facing next week. I'm going to pull up the schedule in a minute. But they look like they're starting to become a better football team than I thought they were going to become, or a better football team than a lot of you expected as well. So they have to be scaring you. And the Washington Redskins, they're 2-2. I'm not going to put any faith or stock in them. They'll be lucky to go 7-9. So they're not a big threat. But the New York Giants, they're becoming a threat. And the Philadelphia Eagles, let's just forget about them. Let's just disregard the Philadelphia Eagles. Next week, the New York Giants, they host the San Francisco 49ers. This could be a tricky game. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants choke this game away. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. But for the Dallas Cowboys, next week, are you guys on bye? No. Oh, you wish. Next week, you guys host the New England Patriots. And this is yet another loss. I mean, this is definitely a loss. If you wanted to win a football game, you had to win this week. You had to win last week, and you didn't win either. And now you're not winning the week after this. So, 2-3 and 0-3 without Tony Romo. It's a disaster. It's problematic. The Giants will be the favorites to win their game. The Eagles could take care of your dirty laundry and beat the New Orleans Saints team that you couldn't beat. The Cowboys are falling behind in the NFC East. But with that said, I'm still picking them to win the NFC East. Just because I believe when Romo comes back and when Dez comes back, they're going to be so much better than everyone else in the NFC East. They'll be able to catch up. That's just what I believe. Now, if Romo stays out a little longer than we're expecting, if Dez stays out a little longer than we're expecting, then they may have some troubles. But I still like the Cowboys ultimately. Let me pull up their long-term schedule. That way we can get a good broad view of their schedule that they're going to have to face with Brandon Weeden. So they're going to lose next week against New England. You're going to lose. New England's coming off a bye week. They're angry at everybody and anybody. If Tony Romo was healthy, if Dez Bryant was healthy, I think you guys would upset. I really do. But no, not with Brandon Weeden. Now, the next week after that, if you want to win the division, you have to win this game at the New York Giants. I know it's difficult. You're at New York Giants. I know that's scary. If you want to win this division, you guys got to win this game. Now, this is after a bye week, though. So go ahead, go to the bye week, nurse your injury. Sean Lee had a little bit of an injury today. Don't know the severity of that yet. Nurse your injuries, come back healthy for that New York Giants, and really go all in for this game. I mean, you can lose next week to the New England Patriots. That's fine. When you come out of that bye week, you need to go all in trying to win this game against the New York Giants in New York. It's hard, but you need to go all in and try to win that one, because if not, things are going to really start to get a little bit murky in the NFC East for you. Now, that's enough Cowboys talk. Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints, the team that won this game. They needed to win. They got to win. Next week is going to be interesting yet again as they face yet another NFC East team. As I aforementioned, they're going to Philadelphia. They're facing the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles right now are not a very good team. But with that said, you guys aren't a very good team either, or we've yet to see that. This was a nice win. We need to see more before we can say that you're a good team, before we can slap that word good onto your football team. I don't like this new philosophy you guys have on offense. Now, today, Drew Brees was limited in what he could do offensively, so I understand not really wanting to go deep. But ultimately, you guys have to move the football down the field. I mean, this dinking and dunking running back stuff, it was nice. Hell, it got them the game-winning touchdown. But you got to move the football down the field a little more explosion from this offense. CJ Spiller, though, I guess he's really laughing at me. He's saying, "Hey, you idiot! Hello, I got the 70-yard receiving touchdown, and that's nice and that's fine. It's not going to work every week. So you need to be prepared for that. You need to be better than that 80-yard touchdown reception. Excuse me, I shorted him 10 yards. But from here, the Saints." They're going to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know who's going to win that game. I really have no idea. I can't make a prediction. Then a week after that, they host the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I believe that the Saints are not going to win this division. But if you want to prove me wrong, win this game. Hosting the Atlanta Falcons, win that game, get back on the winning path, get a little 10-day break before you go to the Indianapolis Colts, before you host the New York Giants, and before you host the Tennessee Titans, go to the Redskins, go to the Texans, host the Panthers. You guys could get on a winning streak. But you guys still have some issues to fix. This game was not perfect. It wasn't flawless. But hey, you have Jairus Byrd back. You have Keenan Lewis back. And you could see that the defense was better. It still needs to improve because Brandon Whedon cannot go down the field the way he went down the field. He can't do it. You can't allow that. But you're getting better. And as for how the game transpired, I mean, yeah, it was nice to see Drew Brees went down the field. They missed the field goal, but ultimately, they won the game. So I'm not even going to really highlight that or talk about that too much. But it's just nice to see Drew Brees is great. Even when he's injured, he's still great. He can move your field down the field like that. Move your team down the field, I should say, like that. Score or almost get you in scoring position, I should say. And he's still formidable, to say the least. So the Saints, I mean, I still project them to be a 7 or 8 win football team. I had 10 wins before the season, actually 9. You've lost me a little bit, but you guys are still going to be competitive. I mean, talk of the Saints being the worst team in the NFL, get out of here. When you have Drew Brees, when you have a top 10 quarterback, you're not going to be the worst team in the league. I mean, the worst I've ever seen a team do with a top 10 quarterback was the Atlanta Falcons in 2013 when they went 4-12, and that took a horrible offensive line, a horrible defense, and horrible running backs. It took horrible phases outside of him in order for that to happen, except for wide receiver, and the wide receivers were banged up. So it really doesn't happen. So the Saints are at least going to win 6 games. 6 games at the very least. So yeah, until next time. And really quick, by the way, what a great day of games. This was by far the most competitive week of the NFL, most competitive day. I loved today's NFL, and it was odd because my Tennessee Titans were not playing. But despite that, it was a great week of competitive football all around. After last week, there were blowouts galore, competitiveness. This is what we love about the NFL. A lot of 20-point scores, 23-point scores. But hey, that's fine with me. I don't need to see a bunch of offense a lot of times. I like to see a nice sack and say, hey, that sack means something because now that team will not be able to get an easy first down. I like to see and think these things. But okay. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.